In my mom's old house I lived in the partially finished attic. A quarter of it was unfinished. The door to the unfinished part had a lock on it since we moved in and we didn't think much of it. The stairs leading up were in front of a big window that covered the whole side wall and the length between floor and ceiling was 7 foot. I always had a weird feeling about that room and slept on the couch downstairs most nights till my mom made me start sleeping upstairs. One night I woke up and the door was open. The lock was at the top of the door. The only people who could reach it was my mom and stepdad, but no one touched the door since it was unfinished and we had cats, so we didn't want them getting in there and possibly falling through or eating the insulation. I closed it and put a brick in front of it since I couldn't lock it and told my mom the next day. She locked it back and placed 2 more bricks in front of it and told me we would get another lock for it in case it was just windy, and rattled the door so much it unlatched the lock. About a week later me and my mom got home and I went to go upstairs and the door was wide open. Bricks had been pushed with it and it was off to the side and the lock was torn off the wall. We called the police because we thought someone broke in, but they didn't find any sign of a break-in. No footprints, no open window, doors were secured, and our neighbor's ring camera didn't pick up anyone near the house. We got 2 locks, a latched lock and a chain lock, and we put a few nails in the door frame to make sure it wouldn't open at all. I started sleeping downstairs again at this point because my mom was worried it was actually a break-in. We also installed a lock on the screen door going up to the attic. About 2 months later I was getting ready for bed and went to go grab an extra blanket from upstairs. It was about 10 p.m. so it was dark, but we had a street lamp on the side of the house this door was at, so I didn't bother even reaching for the light cause I knew I could see in the room without it. I opening the door and got into the first step when I finally looked up and seen the door wide open again, but this time there was a man standing there. His head was almost touching the ceiling. His figure was almost completely dark except for his legs and hand where it got transparent. From memory his outline looked like he was wearing a long sleeve shirt with the sleeves pulled up, pants and a belt. Messy hair, no definite face outline. I stood there for a minute in shock, then ran downstairs and told my mom. We called the cops again and once again they didn't see any sign of forced entry. The windows upstairs were still locked, no one was in the attic, no footprints, we were all home so no one could have come in from downstairs, nothing. The latch lock was opened but the chain lock was broken. Links in the middle were broken off. An officer was stationed in front of our house for the rest of the night and circled our block for about a month after that at night, but we were the only house reporting this kind of thing. What makes it terrifying is the next day me, my mom, and my stepdad went up there to get some of my stuff and to put more locks up, and as my stepdad was about to put another lock on the door he looked over at the window to make sure it was actually locked and seen a handprint. It was bigger than his and he was the biggest person in the house. Literally outlined his hand when he put it up against it as a size comparison. It was also on the inside of the window and wasn't there when the police were investigating. They all wore gloves in case it was a crime scene, so it couldn't have been them either. About 6 years ago, my roommates and I rented this old Victorian-style house near our campus. It had a weirdly deep hallway closet that we mostly just threw suitcases and winter coats into. One day I was digging around in the back of it looking for a duffel bag and noticed the back wood paneling felt loose. I pushed on it, and it slid to the side on some rustic track. Behind it was a tiny, unfinished crawl space under the main staircase. It was pitch black, but when I shone my phone light in there, I saw a sleeping bag, a couple of empty energy drink cans, and a paper plate with pizza crusts that still had soft, greasy cheese on them. Someone had been sleeping in our walls, literally feet away from our living room. We panicked and called the cops. 2 officers showed up, shined their flashlights around for about 30 seconds, and basically told us it was probably just old junk left by previous tenants. They wouldn't even write up a report. When we told our friends and family, everyone laughed it off. They thought we were being dramatic college kids or that we staged it as a prank. But the tenant before us had moved out months ago. Those pizza crusts were not months old. They were soft. We broke our lease that week and lost our security deposit because the landlord threatened to sue us if we didn't pay out. To this day, our college friends still bring it up as, the time you guys got scared of a closet. I still get sick to my stomach thinking about how we'd sit on the couch watching TV, completely unaware that someone was sitting 5 feet away behind a piece of drywall, listening to us.